is really, really amazing, and the coffee as well. Thank you for tuning in and joining us on this week's episode of our show. So today we're going to go back a little bit to what we had last week.
It was quite interesting,
Yeah.
I didn't see that conversation coming out at any point in time, honestly. It was very interesting. So we'll start with that clip from last week's conversation, and we will get into our main topic of the day, which is entrepreneurship, and basically just youth questions around that and what we can learn from one another.
And we have a familiar face coming back. We all know when we have Wankumbu on.
It's always an interesting conversation, honestly.
Yes, and I really can't wait to just hear him educate us more when it comes to entrepreneurial skills and what's going on out there, as well as him to give us more information on last week's topic on relationship stress.
I also want to hear that part
really
from him because he brought it up.
Yes.
So I'm really looking forward to this one today.
So thank you very much, and don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. Last week we were just giving out airtime. There were 17 lucky winners who got airtime, and at the end of the show we're going to put out a picture and the competition, and there'll be another chance for people to win more airtime.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically the idea behind that picture is just to guess who that person is, and it's a female, so it's going to be a lot easier to guess who that female is.
Yes.
So get your phones ready and make sure you follow us up.
So as you can see, we're just the two of us. Our guests will be here soon. There's something important going on right now. Armed forces are training for an event. Yes. So our guests will be joining us just in a bit, and stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
Yeah. Back, and our guest is here. Like I said, when Wankumbu is on set,
It's always an interesting conversation.
yes.
Expect to hear more than what was actually planned. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. Good to be back here, and I'm excited. You guys are already hyping me up.
We need that. We really do.
And you look really nice.
Yeah, I love the suits.
Thanks,
Do
very
you have a date after this?
I was thinking that as well.
Yeah, especially that we are at Holiday Inn. Probably I would just have to make some arrangements. Yeah.
It's a good spot.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So we're going to just get right back into last week, because having a conversation with Mabel earlier. So after last week's show, the part that talked about relationship stress got so much attention. We had so many people calling us in, and before we get into today, we just want to start right there. Could you kindly just share, do you strongly agree that most of the stress that men and women have is caused by relationships?
Oh, wow.
Well, you can speak from a man's perspective, because that particular topic came out from a man, and it was built on from all of us. So speak from a man's perspective. What do you
Well, interesting, because it's about the time that we are living in. But it's quite strange to deal with emotional or relationship issues, and when you look at even the discussion from last week, you see that what we are experiencing now is that society has it that we are strong and we can handle whatever problem befalls us, but nowadays, and even the reports for last year, you heard that a number of suicide cases we are as a result of marriage or relationship issues, and that's not even different from this year. We have seen a lot of people fighting, a lot of people taking to social media to complain about relationships. So relationships really are actually a problem, especially even with the guys, because we also try to be strong even when you are dumped.
Yes.
Yeah, but in the end you are hurt, and at the end of the day you find that you just have to find a way of dealing with that stress. And for some, it's wanting to move on to the next partner, or others may be resorting to drugs, beer drinking, and all that. So it's quite strange, especially that WhatsApp. I'm a fan of mentioning this, because WhatsApp is where I see a lot of things. I see a lot of things, and I take time to interact with people when I see a little bit of change with this colleague who starts maybe sharing scriptures, maybe just taking a whole lot of a divergent view on certain issues. Then you see that probably someone is having a problem, and when you interrogate that, you find that this person is actually going through a heartbreak. And nowadays, girls, you've become hardcore. Yeah, I should make mention of that. You've become hardcore, and you're actually like taking the guys 5-10 years back, the way they used to behave, moving on from this partner to the next one. And most of us guys, when you love someone nowadays, you find that maybe because she's cute, you are having this fun, and because you had publicized this relationship on social media, it becomes very difficult to move on. Yeah, but when you try to move on, you move into another relationship, you find that in that relationship which you've moved in, not that you love that particular person, but because you just want to move on. And that's where you now have attachments with the ex, people constantly texting with the ex. Entanglement. You've moved on. You're saying you've moved on.
Yes.
You're telling your friends, I know, come on guys, no, ex, say I've moved on, I love my new girl. But when you go in the night, and that's why people are now saying in the night relationships hurt more, because it's like heartbreaks hurt the dark. So when you go to sleep, you're alone in bed, and then you're thinking
when everything comes back.
That's when everything comes back. You miss those memories, not even maybe the memories, but also what people are now thinking of you. Because when you are in this relationship, you didn't publicize it. It was all over social media, every day on WhatsApp, like the happy people. But now that people stop seeing those posts, then people will be like asking, say, oh,
what's happening?
What's happening? the other,
we used to see these pictures,
Yeah, we used to see these pictures, and this is what's happening. The other day, my girlfriend was posting on her status for control, and then she posted a photo of us. I'm saying, what do you mean? Say, no, it's like now a month since I posted you, so my friends were asking whether we are still dating. So I'm like, oh, come on, guys, you guys have got issues. Yeah. So pretty much that. But nowadays, because of social media and there's lots of entanglements, it's hard to be in one relationship, and also it's hard again to live up to that expectation of what people expect from you and all that. So yeah, pretty much that. There's a lot more that you can now go in and discuss about relationships and that.
Stress. Yeah. Anyway, I sort of agree. I sort of agree and disagree, and it depends.
You disagree? Bring it on.
Yes, so for me, wait, just a minute. So for me, the stress is true. Like the part where you get to have stress, it's not only relationships with your boyfriend or your girlfriend. It could also be relationships like relatives. Your relatives can stress you as well. Your neighbors can. So it's like your workmates can stress you. It's like, yeah. So then I think we'll definitely have to next week we're having a whole 45 minutes talking about relationships and commitments, and so all these things are gonna come in. So I said I disagree on the part where for posting.
Commitment,
The part for posting is what I was saying I disagree. In that it's to post. ngafi hapo na force tukapost.
Come on. You know, people will hate you.
I totally agree on the posting part. You know, it's more like you've taken your relationship out there, so people are expecting to be saying that every now and then. So when you don't post, definitely they will be wondering,
They'll
say,
be
what's
talking.
happening?
Yeah.
You're using
What's
these
that game?
pictures on Facebook, you're using these pictures on WhatsApp, so what's happening? So I totally agree. On my part, I really do agree with you.
And girls, now you've got issues. If your boyfriend does not post you, or maybe there is someone who's strong in their relationship, you also want to be posted. But you know, sometimes guys, we might be in a relationship, one leg is in, one leg is out, and you also want to leave room for other entanglements. So when you're not posting, then this girl will be like, but me, you don't post me, my friends are posting. So like, no, come on, babe. I don't want to take our relationship out there. You know, people are jealousy. Your friends will be boxing me.
On that one, I think I would disagree. I understand what
You just agreed me a while ago. You want to join Chisa?
I don't want to join that, but I want to disagree on a little bit.
On a little bit.
On a little bit.
Okay.
Point you brought out. I understand when you're dating someone who is private, you know, you need to understand their field, their kind of work they do, their lifestyle, that's different. But a normal person, you know, a normal lifestyle, I would like to be posted every now and then. Maybe once a week, that's fine. But hiding me, I wouldn't agree.
It's not
with that.
hiding.
Honestly,
It's not
I
hiding.
wouldn't agree with that. Once in a while, it's okay.
Okay.
Yes.
What
You can put me
would
on
you
status.
want the caption to be like?
You can put me on your status.
Quit answer a caption.
I'm just asking.
It's okay.
The love
You don't have-
emoji?
Yes, it's fine. You don't even have to explain much. But for me, I'll feel guilty.
But there are some of us who have got lots of female friends, and then when it's her birthday or I'm celebrating something, I put a love emoji there. Anything wrong with that?
Well, you know, again, there must be balance. You understand? Friends are friends. We are in a different category. You understand? So when you're putting a friend there, maybe you can put a caption to say "Happy birthday, bestie." That's okay. You know?
Wow.
That's okay. There
Wow.
must be balance.
Okay.
Yes.
And the
There must be
baby.
balance.
I think next week really be packed just from what we're having here.
It'll be
So
interesting.
we're not going to preempt everything that we're gonna
Yeah.
have next week. And if you'd like to be part of the conversation next week, get in touch with us. Our number is right there. You can also reach out to us on our social media platforms. As you can come to YouTube as well, just comment on this video, drop your information there so that we can make you part of next week's conversation, which is going to tackle relationships and love, and there will be a lot more people. The set will be packed, so it's going to be very, very, very interesting. So get in touch with us if you want to join us next week. We're going to go on a short break and we'll pick it up soon after that.
We're back. Our new guest is here and I'm so excited to introduce her. She's one of my favorite people and honestly, let's just jump right into it. Miriam, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here. I'm excited.
I love your hair. You look amazing.
Thank you so much. So do you.
Oh, thank you. I'm all in black anyway. I'm not attending anything, but I love black. It's one of those colors I enjoy putting on.
It's also my favorite color.
That makes the two of us at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find the color.
Yeah. So, Miriam, today we are speaking on entrepreneurship. You know, we are living in a time where people want to find money, people want to find a sustainable income, you know, and white-collar jobs are not, you know, everywhere, and it's very hard to just find a job which will fit within your career. So what's your take when it comes to entrepreneurship? How can somebody start a business looking at this economic era we are into, and how is the best way possible to just come up with a good business plan?
Okay, so firstly, I believe each and every person has strengths. Each and every person has capabilities, and each and every person has talent. So the first thing is to identify what you're good at. And looking at the era that we're living in, white collar jobs are not meant for everyone. So also, if universities, schools can take entrepreneurship seriously, then that will make life easier for entrepreneurs. Because I've noticed that entrepreneurship is not as respected as someone that's in a white collar job. An entrepreneur can be making more than somebody that's in a white collar job, but the white collar person will be more respected in the sense that it's a clean job, you have to be in a suit and things like that. But financially, financially you find that the person that's doing entrepreneurship is actually making more. So the first step is to actually identify your strengths. You can't just jump into something that you have no idea about. So the first thing is to have an idea. When you have an idea, you do your research. You do your research on that particular thing that you want to venture in. It could be maybe thrift. I have to find out what's my target market for this thrift business that I want to do. Who am I targeting? What places am I targeting? What people am I going to be dealing with in this business? So that's very, very vital. Market research.
I really like one point you brought up, strength. People don't understand strength can be anything.
Yeah.
It can be cooking, that's your
Exactly.
strength. It can be plating here, that's your strength. It can be even speaking, that's your strength. And these are things which people are supposed to really consider on and build, because you never know how far these things can take you. So Wakumbo.
Well, first of all, I feel attacked when she speaks of
The suit.
she speaks of a suit, a white collar job, but
Because you're in a suit.
yeah, but
And
anyway.
in white as well.
It makes a perfect match
For the description, yeah. But all in all, she has mentioned key points that we should consider. First things first, your strength, and this is where now we speak to the issue of having a network, which actually translates to the net worth of an individual. Because if you are going to start, for example, network marketing, thrift, or any other business that you'd want to do, what you are trying to look at is who's your target market.
Yes.
Yeah, so for example, if you start doing thrift and you say, okay, what kind of clothes do my friends want to buy at the moment? We are looking at the weather now. So you are going to say, okay, this is my target market. How am I going to reach them? Immediately you find that, okay, then you are going to know a sustainable business that you are going to do at a particular time, because an entrepreneur is an innovative individual who changes with time and with a particular market or target market that one has. So first of all, as an individual, you need to find your strength. You also need to identify the gap that you want to fill. And you've spoken about cooking. When we just completed school, I was telling a friend, she's now doing a big cake making kind of business that she has started, and she started making scones while we are in school, small cakes and what. But now she's not even looking for a job now after completing university. So you find that you can bank on your strength, build it, and it can take you far. And especially that when you identify your target audience, you know that, okay, nowadays if people are having a birthday, if they're having this activity, then they are going to, there is need for a cake.
Exactly.
Okay, there's need for a cake. And if you've grown this friend base, you are going to know, okay, I can just post on my status, I'm going to have more than 100 views, and these 100 views, at least 1 or 2 people would have a birthday at a particular time, or will be attending a birthday party, and they are going to take up that. Same with clothes, same with makeup now. Ladies, you are into makeup. Yeah, everyone wants to look beautiful. So that's a kind of a business that one can venture in. So find your strength, get to know what you are good at. Also find your market or your target audience, and when you find that, bank on these people, and you need to create that network which will translate into your network.
I totally agree. And talking of target market, people also have to understand that you need to find a need.
Yeah.
And within a certain community where you're trying to put up that business, what can you introduce which is new? And even if it's not you, if you decide to bring in, let's say, cake business, for instance, what attribute are you going to add to your business which will be different from the next person who is in that business?
Yeah.
So I personally feel analyzing these small little details can actually take you a long way, and you become good at that. I completely feel that can really work. So Tisa, what's your take?
Firstly, Wamkumbu white collar suit and we but I also agree. I think like what you say, society really has to sort of encourage entrepreneurship, and not only schools and the government, but even in our homes. If you identify someone as young as 10 years, they have interest in a certain craft, they have interest in selling, they have interest, you have to really encourage them. I remember one time we had a cousin who'd be watching TV in the house, and we'll find she has put, chili. Yeah, she'll get a table, a small table, it's two, you get a tablecloth, those old ones, and get chili, and she'll put it outside the gate and she'll start selling. By the time you're coming out, you find she has money, but then they would whip her. Because they'll be like, why are you doing that? Why are you selling? As if you don't eat at home. But then we should come to a place where we get to groom and really teach people. Because then it's one thing to have interest in selling and to be passionate about business, but it's another to learn and to be mentored so that you do these things really well. So,
and also I've seen some sense of intimidation amongst like entrepreneurs. So when I was just starting, when I did my market research and I discovered this particular place where I'm currently operating from, I said, okay, this is my target place and this is where I can actualize my vision, my skills and talents. But I had people telling me there's competition there. So you see, sometimes when you're doing something, in as much as you can get advice from people, in as much as you're doing your research, that research also includes you hearing from people who are doing business and things like that. It's not everyone who's going to be happy and tell you the correct things. Some people will know that you're competition, but they do not show it. So they'll try to intimidate you, and the advice they'll tell you is, there's too much competition. Why do you want to join in that competition? You get the point. So you can be in a place that is competitive. I'm in a very competitive environment, like all these big names are in that place. Okay, but I'm there too. I'm also marking my territory there. So at the end of the day, it's about you. It's about what you want to achieve, and also the focus, the energy that you put in will also attract your own type of people. People have options to go elsewhere, but they'll still choose me. I'm not the best makeup artist. I'm not the best hairdresser. I know I have my flaws and everything, but they'll still choose me, and they'll still come to me when the next person is doing better than me, but they'll still stick to me. What? Because of the energy that I put in, the focus, my vision, you know what I mean? So that also, when you are planning to start a business, the best thing that you can do is to focus on what you want to do. Don't listen to people telling you, there's competition, there's what. The competition can be there. Because even when you're doing the market research, you have to look at the competition, yes. And sometimes when the competition is high, you have to leave, but sometimes you need to stay.
Point on. And this is where now, for me, in terms of entrepreneurship, I'm a kind of a person that wants to be side by side with an individual, and all this is because of the competition that she has spoken of. Into network marketing, you find that you need to be all out there interacting with people, and but if you have a kind of a busy life that you live, you need someone who's going to have the energy to push you to say, let's invest in this. There's this coming up now. Let's do this. So that's the same kind of energy that I'll encourage everyone who's watching right now to say, this is the energy that you need to put in. And above all, you need to have the right attitude. You can have competition. You and I will be doing the same business, but your attitude and my attitude will distinguish the kind of clientele that you are going to have and the kind of clientele that I'm going to have. She's spoken about people doing the same business, probably next to each other, okay? But people will probably be coming from the other direction, bypass your competitor, come to you, even when the prices are the same. Why? Because of the attitude, the energy that you are putting in, and these little things distinguish who performs better at the end of the day. And everyone who's watching this program, when you're thinking of entrepreneurship, you need to think the right attitude, the right clientele, and that is what you need to bank on. Because people, they are big fishes in these businesses, and you find that the big fish at this particular time, you probably go there as your as your inspiration, and they know that you've got the right energy, you've got the right attitude, they'll discourage you. But what is it that you want to achieve at the end of the day? They will challenge you to say you cannot do this, already there are this number of people that are doing this. Just start, because you know that's the business that you want to achieve, or that you want to venture in. Go for it, do it with your mighty, your best, and everything will fall in place at the end of the day. And the other thing that I would want to speak about is the fact that when you are venturing into business, try to be innovative. Yes, everyone would say, okay, at the moment I can do hairdressing, I can do makeup, but is that the only business which is there? You need to be innovative at the end of the day, and let's not fear or be worried about the competition that we are going to find. Even breathing, right now as we are breathing, we are having competition. So competition will always be there. Yeah.
That's very true. And I like one point you brought out from the both of you. She mentioned focus and energy.
Yeah.
You brought out attitude. Honestly, these are small little things which business people ignore, you know. I've also working in a restaurant, you know. See, my restaurant is full. I've got people, they won't even say hi.
Yeah.
Is everything okay? Just because I'm a boss, it doesn't mean I can't walk up to a customer and say, how are you? Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Small little attributes, they really do matter, you know. Give people a reason to come back to you, you know.
Yes.
Your energy is everything, your focus is everything. Smile, you know, it won't take much from you. It won't at all. So moving on, entrepreneurship. I want to believe there's so many things that one has to consider before even adventuring in this aspect of entrepreneurship. So I'll start with you. What do you think are those small little things that people are supposed to consider, and why?
Apart from the things that we have mentioned, we understand that nowadays whenever you are venturing into any business that will bring you returns at the end of the day, some of the key things that I always want to look at is the legal documentation. You know, nowadays whenever you're opening a bank account, you need the TPIN, you need papers from PACRA and all this, so that your business is properly recognized, and you also need to register your company. So when you are thinking of this, look at all these processes. Yeah, and whenever we talk about this, you know, I need to have the TPIN registered, I need to open up a bank account, and these are some of the financial or fiscal disciplines that we may need to consider, because when you are probably just keeping your money in your purse, in your wallet, and what, you know, there is a temptation that you might spend. So look at the documentation, register a company, make sure that you pay all your tax obligations. And these are now when you start getting established. But I know at the start it may be a little bit of a challenge. But those are some of the things that I feel one should be able to consider. And the time that you stay with this business will actually even give you an advantage on bidding or even applying or doing works for bigger companies. For example, if you are in hairdressing or makeup, you find that maybe some big event is happening and they would want someone who has got experience, and your experience will be determined up to the time that you've been in existence. So if today you start a business, register it so that the documentation tells that you actually started this business in 2016 or in 2015. Even if you are just maybe having one client, okay, register the business. At the end of the day, it is going to pay when you have, say, okay, this is now the bigger clientele that I'm targeting or that I'm dealing with. So those are some of the things that that one may need to register. Consider working with others. Now there's this trend of working in two cooperatives. Yeah, consider working with others. And when you have to work with other people, you have to identify that these are the people that you are sharing the same mindset, because you know some people can be so bad, can bring you down. Even if you've got the positive energy, other people can bring you down. We have started these works with other people, the businesses with other people, but in the end you find that you just end up stopping because there's no right energy, there's no vibe in that business. So just coming back to the question, you need to consider that you are properly registered, you have got the right documents even before you start engaging into this particular business. But some, yes, we understand that there can be some businesses that might not require so much documentation, but have an account, have a bank account, so that the little monies that you might not want to reinvest, you deposit it there, and this will help to have that financial discipline.
And also, do you think marketing applies in any kind of business? Or maybe it's just for those, big profile business, or maybe as you're starting, it's something we consider later on.
Well, marketing, in university I did a marketing, integrated communications marketing. So in marketing, even sitting here, the way you are dressed, the way she's dressed, and everyone is dressed here, we are marketing ourselves, because someday you want probably another person comes in, you know what, I like how the presenters of Utuntu do it. I want them to come through and be the ones to host this show. That's part of marketing. So every little thing that you do it with the right mindset, because you are marketing yourself, you are marketing that particular business. So now that we have social media, if you are not going to post your thrift pieces that you are selling, how are people going to know that you have got this particular business going on? Share that pic of Tisa to say, I've done makeup on Tisa and this is how she looks, and people be like, oh wow, then this person knows how to do this, so I want this person to be the one to do my makeup. So the little thing that you do, you need to do the marketing, and marketing should be continuous, because immediately you stop doing the marketing, there are other people that will probably market more than you. And for the fact that we like what we see, we like what we see. So if I see that this person is marketing more, I'll probably think maybe they're the ones that are even doing it better than you, because you've stopped marketing your product or your services. So marketing should be there, even the little things that you do, and it should be continuous.
Well said. I really like that quote. Miriam, what's your take on that?
I'll start from the point where he says we like what we see. If you're wearing something or you're advertising something and then it's not properly presented, I will not be interested, even if it's really nice in person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So most of the small businesses have that concept where they're thinking because it's thrift, they'll just get it from there with its wrinkles, they post it. No. So it's the little things that matter. So for me, I have a steam iron. What I do is, I don't even have a steam, I have a steam iron. Whatever I buy, I have to iron first so that it's presentable to my clients. So even if you did not want to buy it, you will buy it because of the way it's looking now, because it's neat. You know what I mean? And also consistency. You need to be consistent. You can't provide the service today, tomorrow you're unavailable, the other day you're closed. You have to be very consistent. Sometimes even when you do not get clients, sometimes it will be a very dry day, but I'll still post to say, thank you for today. We try again tomorrow. You know what I mean? Just to keep the hype going. It's not all the time that you have clients, it's business. Even the people that have really grown in business, it's not all the time that you make sales. But some people get demotivated. The moment they do not make a sale in that day, they feel like it's not for the individual on its own. It's its own boss. It can sue you. You get the point. You need to respect it, seriously speaking. So even at home, there are times that there's no sugar. And I'm like, I'm not yet paid. Because that money is not mine. It's for the business, and maybe there's no way that I can even pitch in to touch anything. And a lot of people have failed, especially startup entrepreneurs. They failed because I invest the 500 today, I make a 1,000, I eat the 1,000. I start searching again for capital. You get the point? You need to respect that it's business. Even if I invest a 200, I make a 250, I need to respect that 250 is not my money. Like, it's not, I do not own everything in it. You get the point? So the best you can do is, when you invest that 250, get a 200, you get a 50 kwacha, save it, reinvest there, 200. It will grow, it will become maybe a 300 kwacha. So I say that a lot of people hate small startups. They want to start with 10,000. But as long as you do not have a vision, as long as you do not have the mind to read, even if we give you 100,000, you still go back to zero. So if you can't manage small amounts like 100 kwacha, 50 kwacha, 20 kwachas, then I doubt would trust you with 100,000. What's going to make it different? Because there are times that I go back to zero. to zero, whereby I don't even have. That period of Corona, I was even lacking a 10 kwacha. I remember I started with 100 kwacha. I went to the thrift. I bought what I could. I bought maybe 4 things out of the 100 kwacha. I resold them. I made, it was now a 250. 250, I went back. I invested the whole 250 again. Before I knew it, it was 1,000. Before I knew it, the amount kept accumulating in my Airtel money. I'm just checking, 3 pin, where did it come from? From 100 kwacha. So sometimes you need to be, not sometimes, you always have to be financially disciplined. When it's a business, even if it's a thrift, consider it its own person. You have nothing to do with that. If there's something, because you're the one doing the efforts, the thrift is not going to thrift itself. Since you're going, you can tell yourself, okay, so for the work I'm putting in, whatever I sell, I'll get 100 kwacha for myself, for my needs. And then this business has to continue running. And you have to save. Because there's no way that you're not saving and you expect the money to grow and you expect the business to continue running. So a lot of people are going back to zero because they lack consistency and they lack discipline. Financial discipline is very, very, very critical and it's very important. You have to make sure, even if it's a capital for 200 kwacha, know how you're managing your finances. Managing your finances is not dealing with thousands of kwacha. No. Even those coins, the 2 kwachas and the 3 kwachas, those are also finances. A 1 million will never be a 1 million without a coin. It will never be. When we remove a coin, it's now what? 900 and what? 99, 90. You get what I'm saying? So financial discipline is very important. And also some people have misplaced priorities. Just because I'm an entrepreneur right now, everyone expects me to have a Benz and whatever. Priorities differ. You understand? For me, as an entrepreneur, I want to be a CEO. Like, I want to be a professional person where I'm employing and I have people under me. And how is that going to happen? It's not just going to be the salon. I need to innovate in other things. You get the point? I'm doing a salon and I'm also doing a takeaway. So those things need to run. And how are they going to run if I rush to get a Benz? So, you need to set your priorities right. I might not have a car today, I might not be driving, but I have my priorities set. I know what I'm doing. You get the point? I might not have all those things, but I have a business running. I have 2 businesses running and they are paying me every month. But it's about priorities. What are your goals, like long-term goals? In 5 years, where do you want to be? Where do you want to see your business? You get the point? Because you can easily make that money. Maybe in 6 months you can afford maybe a car. But then after the car, what? Because that car is now a baby also. You start babying it. It needs fuel, it needs service, it needs whatever. Yes, so you need to set your priorities right. So I've seen a lot of people have misplaced priorities because just because my friend is driving, the little that I'll have my car, first 50 pin, I want to buy a car so that they should see that I'm driving. You get what I'm saying? So set your mind to it. When you're independent in your thinking, I don't think anything will mislead you or anyone will mislead you into making certain decisions. You have to make your own decisions according to what you want to achieve. So that's my take.
Wow, I feel you've said everything.
She has done justice.
Answered all the questions, just one little conversation there.
Okay.
So, Tisa,
I think it's so much to take it. Everything, yes. So we're just going to go on a short break and we'll pick it up from there. Amazing show. I've been wondering where this girl gets where she's getting the energy from. So she's having hot chocolate, but she's very energetic as if she's someone on caffeine. But it's been very, very interesting, and I have learned so much. And just to wind up, I just want us to go through the basics that someone needs when they are starting out, and we'll just pick it up from her, and then it will go around.
Okay, so I think the first thing is having an idea. You should know exactly what you want to do. You should know exactly what you are aiming for. So that will give you a guideline on how to kickstart. Yeah, and also from the idea, you pick up on your research, do your research, and make sure you get all the necessary information, do your inquiries. Even just simple business like thrift also requires some knowledge from someone who's been doing it for a while, how they make their profits, how they price, and things like that.
Yeah, and from what she has said, you realize that you are going to look at, okay, now that I've done my research, then who's my target audience? Who do I sell these products to that I do have? So from there you can say, okay, now that I have got my target audience, how then do I go to market these products that I have to this target market? So from the idea, the research, the target market, and also going about your business, and above all, like we have mentioned in this discussion, you need to be disciplined, have the right attitude, and ensure that you have that right mindset that is going to push you with the right energy to go and venture into that particular business of yours.
I like the points. For me, I think to sum it up, I'll add location. Have the idea, do your research, find a suitable location which will work for your business. It can be anywhere.
Yeah.
It can be at the mall if you got what it takes.
Yeah.
If you got the muscle to be at the mall. It can be within your area, where you are actually living there. Build up a small shop, do your stuff within your community, anywhere. So long you know your target population is right, you've got the idea, you've built it, you know exactly what you're going to get out of that, and you're good to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Digitally also.
Yes.
Yeah, make use of Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and all these social medias. If you do not have the location yet, you could use those things, but just make sure your work is presentable. These days, you don't even need a professional camera. We have ring lights, and they're affordable. You can just on one and use it to take pictures of whatever it is that you're selling, just to make it catchy and presentable to your audience.
Iron the salaula, the three.
Make sure you cheese the salaula.
Make sure it's attractive,
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd like to come back.
Yeah, I think, but before you came, I was just looking around the place. Holiday
Having
Inn.
a date afterwards at Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn
Yeah.
is super awesome. I'm going to have a date here.
So please bring that spacious somebody.
Yeah, I'm already in a suit, so
It's just a call away.
yeah.
Exactly.
So,
So, thank you very much. Holiday Inn has been amazing. Thank you guys for being here. And from us, all of us have to shout at Shanyapo. From us,
Shanyapo.
Shanyapo. Yes.